recently concluded 2021 PBA Rookie Draft.
Throwback on one of the best games of our UST Growling Tigers last season, 82, will also be featured. And along with a special interview on our former athletes from the Tiger Shuttlers. My name is Danielle Chinguanco.
And I am Kobe Diao, and you are tuning in to UST's premier sports show, The Frontrunners. 2 weeks ago, the Philippine volleyball world was rocked with the news that F2 Logistics, one of the PSL's most successful teams, had completed a move that sees them joining the rival league, the PVL. Now, Ching, obviously this is a big move, a big time for Philippine volleyball, because this opens up a lot of new matchups and a lot of different opportunities for future teams to potentially also complete a full transfer to the PVL.
Yes, following the domino effects of different teams moving into PVL, the F2 Logistics was the only team left from PSL before making their move. And it's probably a different arena now wherein the players will still continuously to hone their skills, their talent. And now that they're all in a unified professional league in PVL, I guess this also means for the Philippine volleyball community to promote unity and, of course, give importance to having a singularity of vision towards achieving one goal. Having the top players now in one league, this would, I guess, elevate every player's game, every team's game, and it would be easier now to build a national team.
Right. And besides that, of course, we get to see a lot of fun matchups in the PVL soon. One matchup that I'm very, very much excited for is obviously Melissa Valdez going up against Abby Mariano again, kind of like a throwback La Salle versus Ateneo kind of matchup. That's definitely exciting. So, insane amount of opportunities, and hopefully we see more teams entering the PVL. It's going to be an exciting time for Philippine volleyball, and a lot of great highlights coming soon.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, exactly. And as you mentioned, I really cannot wait for the teams to play in and also the Creamline Cool Smashers, especially the F2 Logistics, since both of the teams they had a couple of titles, and I think they were also the top contender from where they were still in PSL. And it's really exciting to see how they will be using their experience from before to play now in a different kind of league.
Yep, extremely true. When you think about Creamline and F2 Logistics coming up in a matchup together, I mean, we didn't think that we would see it in the PVL anytime soon, but obviously with this move, we're going to see a whole ton of it even more moving forward.
Yes, and volleyball fans were not the only ones who had plenty to talk about this month. Last Sunday, the Philippine Basketball Association, or PBA, held its 46th annual rookie draft, which saw some big names from the collegiate and overseas scenes get one step closer to reach their PBA dreams.
Right, and we talked about this last episode about who would be the number one pick in this PBA draft, and we both agreed that whether it was Joshua Munzon or Jamie Malonzo, Terra Firma could get some great output from both, and they are getting a great scorer with Joshua Munzon. We saw what he did in the 3v3 tournaments. We know that he's capable of scoring and finding his teammates. So Terra Firma just found their next go-to scorer, their primary player moving forward in the future.
Yes, and along with Joshua Munzon is Jamie Malonzo's second overall pick for this draft. We mentioned them as well, and now here they are. It's amazing. Jamie Malonzo coming into the country, into the UAAP, he was definitely an instant star. It was a one and done season all throughout that year. Even though it was only a year, he definitely did make a name for himself. He's such a versatile player, so it's no surprise that now he's part of the top pick. And also to mention, he's a 6'7" forward, and with that height, that skill, it's really a great addition to the Philippine basketball talents out there.
Very true. And with a third pick, Calvin Oftana going to NLEX, gonna be teaming up with Kiefer Ravena. That's something to look forward to. You know, he's a great scorer. He can shoot, he can rebound, and as a stretch four in this league, that's something very, very essential, especially with the way the PBA is built right now. So we saw what he did with Gilas Pilipinas, coached by Coach Tab. So it's exciting to see what him and Keith are going to be cooking up in the PBA very, very soon.
Yes, and as for the fourth overall pick, we have Mikey Williams. Definitely his experience from playing from different leagues across the globe, across the nation, ASEAN Basketball League, NBA G League, the MPBL, all those credentials that he has made him a potential first round pick in this year's draft. His skills, definitely determination, being a 6'2" combo guard. We sure cannot wait for the impact he's bound to give to the team.
Right. All of these guys have been working hard to reach this moment, but probably one person who is extremely working hard right now and a coach's favorite, as people are talking about, is Santi Santillan at the number 5 pick, going to rain or shine. So Santi has made his mark, obviously, with the SAL, and he's also had a couple experiences in the 3x3 tournaments. He's a hard worker, scrappy player, and someone you can rely on the defensive end, especially when it comes to down the stretch defensive stops. Exciting time for the PBA, and all of these guys. The top 5 picks are amazing, but there's one rookie who I'm very looking forward to right now, and that's definitely got to be sorry, that's got to be Aljon Melesio going to Phoenix. He was great with LaSalle. He was the rookie of the year, and to him going to the second round, that's probably a stretch, but I don't know. I just feel so excited for Aljon Melesio moving forward.
Yeah, and among the overall picks for the PBA draft this year, a lot were prospects. And looking back from previous predictions, it's as if everything was spoken into existence. And now that we know who the players are picked for the PBA draft, all the new blood coming in, hopefully exciting gameplays and providing more chances for the teams to execute an exciting, or maybe something they're cooking up something. It's probably going to be a really exciting game for everybody.
Very, very true. So that does it for our breakdown of the PBA draft and the exciting things happening with Philippine volleyball and with the PVL. So that is it for this time, but we will be right back with more of the action for you. So stay tuned, because the Frontrunners will be right back. Last episode, we talked about the nail biter between our UST Growling Tigers and their matchup against the NU Bulldogs in the first round of Season 82. But I think all of you would agree that the do or die victory against the UP Fighting Maroons is the one that we will remember the most of Season 82.
Right, and erasing an enormous twice-to-beat advantage from a talented and a very upbeat UP squad was not an easy thing to do, considering their pedigree. They were the favorites to face the undefeated Ateneo in that finals, and thankfully, Subido and company had other plans, right, Kobe?
Yeah, Renzo and the entire team was locked in on defense. Now you see this dunk by Kobe Paras all over this UST defense, but and now we see Juan with a sweet layup inside. This game was definitely back and forth for UST and UP, and it could have gone either way. We see Renzo here with a sweet drive kick out to Nonoy for 3, and that was the story of the game. Kick out threes, 3-pointers everywhere for the UST Growling Tigers.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? Entering that game, there was only one win that separates UP, and UST Growling Tigers overcame the twice-to-beat advantage of UP. And I guess with that, UST probably wanted to carry that momentum over. So it was basically a championship showdown for them to face the Ateneo Blue Eagles. And UST really did put on quite a show.
Right, and the mentality of Coach Ayo, letting his players shoot whenever they want, as Juan Gomez drives here for the layup. The mentality that Coach Ayo instilled to his team of 3-point shooting whenever and wherever they can paid off in this matchup. I mean, we saw Nonoy hit a couple of threes earlier, and obviously the one that we will remember the most will happen in a little bit. But see here, Richie doing work inside, and Bright Aqueti. We couldn't stop Bright in this matchup until
Yeah.
probably the final stretch of the game.
Yeah, Bright was one of the players that USD really had to look out for, especially that in the previous quarter, he was really cutting down the lead that USD made in the first quarter. So there were really a couple of threes that Renzo made throughout the game, along with Solimane Chabio. Their double doubles, their performance has really brought the team to a win. But you know what? More specifically, the crucial one was when Renzo knocked down the game's biggest shot with a three during the remaining few seconds of the game just to get a 1 point lead.
Right. And but before that though, it was all UP. We see here Richie going to the cup here. Richie Rivero was extremely successful in this matchup. And also with Kobe Paras, obviously. Excuse me, that was June Manzo. Again, June Manzo, another pesky player that USD had to look out for in this matchup.
Yes,
See there,
exactly.
with the scowl on the face. Oh, June Manzo, crazy. You could see the USD crowd, the UP crowd, all glimmering with a hope for victory. Kobe Paras again dunking on everyone, as Kobe Paras does naturally. And here we see again one more time. This is a defensive stop here. Fourth quarter, Abando all the way 4-2. A 2-point game, 29 seconds left to go. Renz inbounds to Renzo, and we know what happens here. Renzo sizing up Bright, puts in the three to put USD up by 1.
Yes,
Renzo Subido.
And people in that arena. Yeah, people in that arena really holding on to their seats. You know what? The seats really didn't have any use. Everybody was standing or everybody was screaming. It was really crazy, and probably not only in the arena, but also inside the UST, the halls. Everybody was going crazy. And I guess I speak for everyone because I still remember how it felt. It was really thrilling. Winning that game was a successful point for the Tigers and also the Tamashon community as well. Now that we have reached the finals berth once again for the first time since 2015, and UST scoring, playmaking, their defense altogether made history. It's really one for the Bucks.
Definitely, and this is gonna go down in UAP history or UST history as one of the greatest games ever played. And Renzo is always going to be remembered for that shot. And he's always going to be remembered as the savior for UST. And you know what? Going back to what you said about the tickets and the seats thing, I wouldn't mind that I paid for a seat that I wasn't going to use if the game was that exciting and that electric. I wouldn't mind paying for a seat that I didn't use. But yeah, overall, just a game that everyone loved and everyone is going to remember down the line, even 10, 15 years from now.
Yes, exactly. And I too wouldn't also mind even if me and my friends really were separated from every corner. As long as we're in there, as long as we get to watch the game, I think that was the really most important thing, because you know, that's the thing about the Tamashon community, the support. It's really heartwarming, and it's something that we always carry. It's something that we really pride on. And the Tamashon community once again gathered for the sports we also care passionately about. So, you know, and it's really a great time to be a Tamashon, especially that we were really making history. So much like any sports, we shall continue to support the community, in any way we would want to.
Right. You know, whether it's basketball, whether it's volleyball, tennis, table tennis, badminton, it's always going to be full support from the Tamashon community wherever they go. And it's going to be an amazing time when we get our sports teams, when we get our athletes back on the court, when it's all safe. It's going to be exciting, and I have no doubt in my mind that everyone from the Tamashon community is going to cheer on for their teams safely as possible. Well, when we do get the UAAP back. So definitely something to look forward to moving forward in the future.
Yes, exactly. And once again, much like any sports, let's continue to support the community. Don't go anywhere, because we will be back in a bit and we'll get to know more from someone from our very own Tiger Shuttlers. We will be right back.
Joining us today are former players from our very own badminton team, the UST Tiger Shuttlers. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Russel, Enriquez, and Erick Peralta. Guys, welcome to the show. How are you? How's everything?
Hi, I'm glad
Hey,
to be
guys.
here actually. Hi.
Hi, Erick.
Hello.
What's up?
Hello.
We'll get Russell in a little bit, but yeah, Erick, what's up, man? How are you?
And I just got off to work now. I'm doing here. I'm doing fine actually. Yeah. Thanks for asking. How about you guys?
We're good too. Thank you for asking, and it's great to have you guys here on the show. What about Russell? How are you?
Hi. Okay naman. Ngayon, medyo hirap lang sa pagte-training ulit ng... Kasi ngayon kahit tapos na ako, graduate na ako sa UST, naglalaro pa rin ako madalas.
So congratulations, by the way, on your graduation. And despite that it's pandemic, it's still something that to celebrate about, right? But in this time of pandemic, a lot of things have changed. The things we used to do before, somehow we couldn't do them. So I guess, how different was badminton training now from back then, where you usually train in badminton courts? What about you, Erick?
Now I think it's way different because it's limited due to the pandemic. And before it was like we train with multiple teams, like the girls team, like that. And now we can't train, and it's different, limited in the court. Yeah. So that's all for me.
Russell, how about you?
Sa akin naman, parang, ayun nga, halos same lang din nung kay Erick dahil madaming courts na nagsara ngayon. Kaya medyo nalilimit yung pagte-training sa labas. Tsaka kahit maglaro lang, medyo limited yung paglalaro sa labas.
So guys, we mentioned earlier na graduate na kayo ng UST, and you've all had your fair share of experiences and mga moments sa UST, whether it was with your team, with your block, or kayo, the two of you as friends. So what has been the most unforgettable moment that each of you have experienced as a Thamasian athlete, whether it be sa UAAP or something personal inside UST or as a athlete mismo? Russell, pwedeng ikaw muna.
Sa unforgettable moments, madami yung training, yung pagka-UAAP, yung mafe-feel mo yung UAAP na may madaming nag-cheer, madaming yung pressure ng laro, pressure nung pagpe-prepare. Tsaka yung mga moments na magkakasama kayo sa training. Lalo ngayon, mas mamimiss mo siya kasi nasa bahay ka lang, maalala mo yung lahat ng trainings, yung bonding niyo sa team. Yun, tsaka yung parang nakapagbigay ka ng sa school niyo, ng karangalan sa school niyo na nakakapag yung pagiging athlete na nagbibigay ka ng sa high school niyo.
Yes. What about you, Erick? How has it been? What has been an unforgettable moment for you being a Thamasian athlete?
Siguro yung UAP mismo. Then actually the day before the UAP, hindi ko talaga makakalimutan yun kasi parang we're always gathering and talking about our next strategy, and our coach is giving us motivation, talk, mga ganun. So ayun talaga yung mga may-miss ko sa Thamasian athlete. So that's all.
Yes, and at some point in time in this pandemic, a lot of people really miss a lot of things. So eventually we keep moving forward. So a lot of people got to pick up new hobbies and newfound talents. So aside from playing badminton, were you guys working on other hobbies or sports as well, or literally anything in general that you get to pick up at home or whatever it is?
Aside from badminton, siguro ML, is it counted, I guess?
Yeah, counted naman.
Our producer is matutuwa yung producer namin sa'yo kasi he's a big ML fan. So yeah, go ahead.
I am too, actually. I'm a big ML fan. So, ayun lang naman. And studying badminton ML. So, ayun. That's all for me.
Mhm. Yes, what about you, Russell?
Sa akin, hindi kasi ako nag-ML. Hindi parang
You
sa
guys
akin
don't play
ngayon,
together. Hindi kayo kakasama sa
Kanya
sa ML. Sa ano lang, sa training lang, pero ML no can do.
Sa akin ngayong pandemic siguro parang naano ko lang na kaya ko palang magturo ng badminton. Kasi
Mhm.
ako na may mga natuturuan din ako dito ng badminton nung medyo lumuwag na yung lockdown na minsan may tinuturuan ako pa isa-isa ganun. Tapos ngayon may nakuha ko na parang coach sa isang school na mga staff ng school tsaka teachers yung tinuturuan ko.
Russell,
Ayun,
how
para
do
sa akin
you
yun yung natutunan.
Mm-mm.
Ay.
How do you feel about yung pag to train mo with the clubs and with the coaches and all that? Kasi syempre all of us we started at the bottom, di ba? Erick was talking about it off air a while ago that you guys started from Team B and you worked your way up to Team A and eventually to the UAP. And now, ikaw na yung nagtuturo, ikaw na yung nagtitrain sa mga ibang coaches, mga ibang players. How do you feel like that motivates you, and how do you feel na parang your career has gone full circle from trainee to athlete, and then now you're practically a player coach. So how do you feel about that?
Ayun, medyo nung una parang medyo weird pa kasi ikaw naman yung nagtuturo sa yung mga beginners natin turuan. Pero masaya din pagka nakikita mo na may natututunan sila tas nag-i-improve yung tinuturuan. Yun yung masayang feeling pagka nagtuturo.
What about you, Erick? I guess my question would be how has it been different for you again since ayun nga sayo ML, how do you really share that passion with sa kanya kasi he's teaching people. What about you? How do you deal with ML stuff?
Actually, I watch MPL. Sinasabaybayan ko lahat ng teams doon. Then, and nanonood ako ng mga streams ng mga players. And tapos yun, minsan kalaro ko rin yung mga boss ko tuwing off namin sa work. And
Your bosses sound fun, man.
Yeah,
I wish our
actually.
bosses could play mobile games like that too para makakasama naman namin kayo.
Change in career ba yan?
Yeah.
From athlete to esports athlete. That sounds like a cool one. That sounds like a cool story, man. So guys, obviously now that your collegiate careers are done, you're off to making new stories. You're off to making new memories and new histories with the career paths that each of you have chosen. So what is your sort of like message to other aspiring badminton athletes or athletes in general who want to reach the same accolades, the same achievements that you've had during your time? Yung mga nanonood ngayon and are starting with Team B but want to make it all the way to the UAP. So what is your message to them? Erick, you can go first.
Siguro kasi keep on dreaming kasi lahat naman tayo nagsisimula sa baba. And then always train and put your heart and soul into what you're doing. That's all for me.
How about you, Russell? What is your message to the aspiring badminton athletes or any athlete who would like to reach the same heights that you've had on your stint?
Maglaro lang sila ng maglaro. Tsaka tuloy lang nila yung paglalaro. Huwag lang silang sumuko. Tsaka pag gusto naman talaga nila, sure naman na may mararating at mararating sila. Pagka gusto talaga nila yung ginagawa nila. Tuloy lang nila lagi yung tsaka work hard lang sila lagi. Tsaka training lang lagi.
Yes, experience and passion. It's really the two things that would keep you guys going. Once you put your heart into something, I believe you are really going to achieve great heights. You're gonna achieve the dreams that you are worthy of dreaming of.
Yes, and some great insights right now from our Thamashan athletes who have gone through it all. From training, from starting at the bottom, and making their way all the way to the top. So, Russel, Erick, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being here on the show. And is there anything you guys want to share, want to plug? Any social medias or anything that you guys want to share, or some advocacies that you guys are rooting for? Anything at all? What do you guys want to say, Erick?
I just want to have a quick shout out to my previous teammate sa UST, and follow na niyo yung page namin for updates sa team. So, and that's all for me.
And Russel, you?
Ayun din. Gusto ko lang din shoutout yung mga teammates ko. Kasi nung nalaman nilang dami lang chat sa amin ni Erick na huwag daw batiin daw sila. Tsaka yun nga, yung team page ng team namin, yung UST Badminton. Yan. Active naman yung pagpo-post nila dun ng related sa team.
Well, hello to the teammates, to everyone on the Tiger Shuttlers who are watching right now and supporting Erick and Russel. Hope you guys are enjoying, and hope you support these two and the entire team moving forward and in all of their future endeavors. So that is all the time we have for today's show. We hope that you will join us again next time as we continue in bringing you the latest news around the local sports scene in UST. Once again, my name is Kobe Diao.
And my name is Danielle Chinquanco, calling out the final play of the game exclusively here on UST's premier sports show, The Frontrunners. First in line, legacy through time.
Thanks, guys.